Okay, I'm going to start with my teams. I'll be explaining them since I only have two of them as concept teams since I was not able to build them myself. And the other one, I'll show an image also just to keep with the fashion. So the first team versus Super Int. The ship is Oro Jackson, and as you see the units, the Murasaki, Coliseum Murasaki, has swimsuit flampe support. So, you will be popping on the Stage 2, the Coliseum Murasaki and Rogers Super Type. You'll want to make sure that you have at least one non-Psi orb next to the Murasaki. That way, so you can actually get Flampe's support effect to activate, because you have to have at least one modification. That's part of the requirements for her. Even though technically the orbs next to it still change, it doesn't count it. The rest of the specials you'll activate on the boss stage. Pretty straightforward. You just want to make sure you don't hit with Yamato last. She will ruin your damage, or should at least, since the above a certain chain debuff will activate as I understand. So, don't do it. The damage for the versus Super Int is 2 billion damage. A pretty good team overall. Not the greatest out there, but I'm satisfied with it. So, okay, on to the Super Strength. This one uses Shark Superb Ship, and sadly, you will be using Kiko Izu turn stage 2, so you won't get the max damage you could possibly, but that's another point we'll get to soon. Stage 1, swap 3 times throughout it, Ace Sabo. Then when you get to stage 2, you'll swap one more time and then pop Kiko Izu and then pass. You don't really need to kill. Stage 3, you'll pop the rest of the specials and make sure you turn Bon Clay into a either shooter or free spirit so he can benefit from Ace Sabo's orb buff. So, you could replace the Kizuna Rare Recruit Kuro with something else if you really had to. It'll lower your damage a bit, but I understand. Not able to have him. This is a very heavy team for limited characters. You can replace him with, say, Bobbin, for example. The damage is about 1.1 billion damage or so. I had a Alliance member run it, and they verified it was a good team. Last but not least, Super Psi. This one has, technically I put on Corazon support to version 3 Law, but you don't really need it. That one's not mandatory. You'll be passing a turn either way. Otherwise, actually what you need is version 2 Rare Recruit Jozu on Whitebeard and Event Limited Rare Recruit Perispero on version 3 Katakuri. The Perispero that's from the Luffy, Sanji, Sweet Commanders, and Judge, or Germa 66 banner, which is one of our Google Annies. You'll pass turn 2, no issues there, and you'll have everything popped on the stage 3. I start with Yamato, get her to manipulate the orbs into Guanos first. You make sure to pop 3D 2Y Robin before you get to Marco. And you want to make sure you pop Whitebeard before you get to Katakuri. The ship I use is the Amphibious Nostra Castello, but you can use whatever you feel like. It's only slightly more damage. Make sure to tap with Yamato last, and you'll easily deal like 1.1 billion damage. I hope that in some way these teams have been useful to you. So, Play smart and be safe out there.